Chapter
NK
721, The Correct Way to Survive. I like it, the taste is not bad.
Nan Nunok nodded, picked up a big slice of raw fish, dipped it in sauce, and put it into her mouth, chewing with enjoyment.
I thought you would not accept it.
Nan Ton Nok sighed, the change was too sudden.
That is fine, but I really dislike jellyfish. Nan Nunok laughed brightly.
Van Han covered her mouth and smiled, if you like it, eat more, there is plenty.
MHM. Nan Nunok replied innocently. Crunch crunch. Lu Waimong grabbed a crispy mantis shrimp, broke its head, and chewed loudly.
She smirked, poked her teeth with her tongue, and said, crunchy and fragrant, but a bit sharp in the mouth. Just break off the sharp edges. So Fong said while breaking the spikes.
Lu Waimong pouted, too troublesome, I will chew directly. Be careful not to cut your mouth. So Fong warned. My mouth is tough, no fear.
Lu Waimong answered, then grabbed a crab claw. So Fong laughed, then helped peel the crab and put the meat in her bowl.
Mum. Here. So Fong replied, peeling more. Nan Nunok smiled and kept eating.
Dinner lasted nearly 1 hour, the table full of shells and bones, everyone rubbed their bellies and burped.
So full. Lu Waimong burped happily. Although busy all day, now I feel satisfied.
Van Han leaned on So Fong's arm, face relaxed.
Later a bath, tonight we'll sleep well.
Lu Waimong stretched, feeling tired.
Nan Nunok sighed, this is not like my imagination of survival. Then what is your imagination? So Fong asked curiously.
At the start it was like this.
So Fong agreed. Van Han muttered, is eating meat luxurious?
She recalled since arriving, every day had meat, snake, rabbit, fish, deer, wild boar.
Cough, after knowing you all, I found this is the correct way of survival. Nan Nunok blushed.
Every day had meat, a safe cabin, free time for swimming, fishing, planting vegetables.
So Fong laughed, realizing life was good. Exactly.
The Lu sisters nodded, only after meeting So Fong they entered real survival.
Alright, wait until we win the contest to sigh more.
So Fong smiled helplessly.
True, still more than 4 months left. Van Han said sweetly.
They cleaned dishes, washed the table with soap until no smell remained. I must bathe, the fish smell sticks. Lu Waimong sniffed clothes, frowned, then left with clothes.
Van Han, not bathing now? So Fong asked.
Later, I must marinate the fish first. Van Han said, pouring salt and ginger, mixing fish thoroughly.
Creak. Van Han washed hands, brought out a mahjong set, and smiled, play mahjong? Good.
Nan Ton Nok and Lu Wai Thursday agreed.
I cannot play. Nan Nunok muttered shyly. So Fong smiled softly, mahjong is simple. Alright then. Nan Nunok sat down, followed the others. You play without me?
The door opened, Lu Waimong entered, pouting.
Lu Wai Thursday said, you were in the bath. Sister, maybe I give you my seat. Nan Nunok offered.
Lu Waimong pressed her down, laughing, no need, you play.
Nan Nunok mumbled, but I cannot play. Simple, I will teach. Lu Waimong patted chest, I am strong, I taught them all. So is it you strong or So Fong strong? Nan Nunok asked innocently. Both strong.
Lu Waimong said vaguely.
You are shameless. Lu Wai Thursday remarked.
Lu Waimong lifted her chin proudly, I want thinner skin, but power does not allow. Lu Wai Thursday twitched, her sister shameless to the extreme.
Ha, then you teach her. So Fong laughed. Leave it to me.
Lu Waimong vowed, then sat next to Nan Nunok. So Fong sighed, walked to the shelf, recalled herbs he had collected. I must arrange the herbs later.
He murmured. Chapter 722, Scar Fading Medicine.
Most of these herbs are slightly poisonous, they must be specially processed before use, so we stored them in a jar at the bottom to prevent the girls from mistakenly cooking with them. Su Feng took out more than 10 kinds of herbs before stopping, carefully sealing the bag.
Yun Han tilted her head curiously and asked, Su Feng, why are you taking so many herbs?
You will know later. Su Feng replied casually.
All right.
Yun Han pouted, while Su Feng acted mysterious.
Yun Han, your turn.
Lui Meng waved her hand in front of her, reminding, 30,000.
Okay. Yun Han quickly responded, then touched and played her tile.
Su Feng smiled, picked up a jar of water, and entered the bathroom with the herbs, closing the door and leaving the drone outside.
Inside, viewers sent barrages of comments. What is Su Feng doing? So secretive.
Just wait, every time like this something good comes out. I also think so, he must be making something new.
But why not let us watch? It is unfair, I was ready yet not allowed to see.
In the bathroom, Su Feng took out poisonous caltrop, which would harm the body if eaten without treatment.
Not sure about the effect.
He muttered, still working on other herbs. This needs water, that requires leaves. In the narrow space, he processed each herb according to formula, amount, part, and order, put them in the jar, and ground them into paste. He pinched some paste, rubbed it, and murmured, looks about right. After finishing, he cleaned up the residues, threw them into the toilet, clapped his hands, and stepped out with the jar. In the wooden house, the girls still played mahjong, their faces tense.
Why do you all look like you ate rat droppings? Su Feng frowned. You ate rat droppings. Yun Han glared, then said, we are just at a critical moment. Su Feng stayed silent, surprised mahjong could feel so intense. Quick, you are about to win. Lui Meng cheered Nian Ruyu beside her.
Nian Ruyu bit her lip, she roughly knew the rules but was not confident.
Yun Han, your turn.
Nian Xingyu softly reminded.
Okay.
Yun Han quickly reached for a tile, muttering, 2 bamboos, 2 bamboos.
We will win. Lui Meng said confidently. Self-drawn.
Yun Han shouted excitedly, put down her tiles, and pushed them forward.
Lost again, only 1 tile short. Lui Zhu sighed. Lost again. Nian Ruyu lowered her head, it was her second round yet still defeat. Lui Meng patted her shoulder and firmly comforted, it is fine, keep trying, you will win the next one. Haha, really? Are you sure? Lui Meng laughed awkwardly, muttering inside. Yes. Lu Yizhu exposed without mercy.
Su Feng held the jar gently, Meng, play for Ruyu, I will apply medicine for her.
Medicine? What medicine?
Everyone was startled, even Nian Ruyu.
She pointed to herself nervously, what is wrong with me?
Su Feng raised the jar and gently said, do not worry, it is only scar fading paste.
Scar fading paste? Nian Ruyu was touched, her eyes reddened, did he guess her feelings? Su Feng, you can even make this medicine? Yun Han exclaimed. Ahem, it can only lighten, erasing completely is impossible. Su Feng coughed and replied. He looked at Ruyu, gently asked, do you want to try? Maybe it works. I want to.
Nian Ruyu nodded firmly, whether useful or not she wanted to try.
Ruyu.
Nian Xingyu sighed, though her sister smiled more now, she still cared about her burn. If the paste failed, what then?
Sister, it is fine.
Nian Ruyu turned back with reassuring eyes. Su Feng placed the jar on the table and softly said, first tie up your bangs.
Okay.
Nian Ruyu tied her bangs up, revealing her scarred cheek.
All right. She nodded, lay on the bed.
Su Feng placed cloth behind her head to avoid staining.
It may itch, endure a little. He reminded softly.
Also, the herbs are mild, apply once daily, after 5 days you should see clear results.
Okay.
Nian Ruyu agreed, glanced at him, and closed her eyes.
Su Feng took dark green
paste with his fingers and gently spread it on her left cheek, covering the scars. Nian Qingyu shivered, the cold paste shocked her.
Chapter 723, Turned into a Waiter?
So Fong gently applied ointment to Nan Nunok's scar, softly reminding, "Alright, do not open your left eye."
Okay.
Nan Nunok innocently replied, opening her right eye and seeing her sister and Van Han around.
How does it feel?
Nan Tan Nok asked with concern.
Nan Nunok smiled,
The medicine is cool, very comfortable. Just applied, later it will itch, endure, and do not scratch. So Fong spoke softly.
Nan Nunok nodded earnestly, okay, I will endure. So Fong, how long should the medicine stay on her face?
Nan Tan Nok asked.
So Fong thought then smiled, from tomorrow you can wash it away. I understand.
Nan Tan Nok looked gratefully, glad for the cooperation, hoping the scar would fade.
Sister, you all go play mahjong, let me rest here.
Nan Nunok said gently.
Call me if you need. Nan Tan Nok nodded. Do not worry, I will help you win a round.
Lu Waimong waved her fist, returning to shuffle tiles skillfully.
Hee, good. Nan Nunok laughed and nodded. Okay. Nan Nunok softly answered. So Fong saw more than half of the ointment left, enough for tomorrow night.
But the herbs were used up, tomorrow he must gather more, otherwise treatment cannot continue. Van Han and the others kept playing mahjong, while Nan Nunok lay on the bed, nervous yet hopeful, slowly falling asleep. So Fong walked to the window, gazing into the night calmly.
So Fong, can you help hang the fish and meat to smoke? Van Han shyly asked. Sure.
So Fong smiled tenderly, brushing her short hair as he passed.
Hee. Van Han laughed brightly, turning back to the game.
So Fong carried the pottery basin of meat and fish to the kitchen, lifted the stove lids, tied the meat with rope, and hung them inside. After finishing, he added logs, lighting a blazing fire. Then he opened all the wooden windows, keeping ventilation to prevent danger.
So Fong, can you pour me a hot cup of tea?
Lu Waimong looked at him expectantly.
Sure. So Fong responded, pouring tea into her ceramic cup.
Van Han placed her tile and smiled, So Fong, I want to.
He poured for her, then asked Nan Tan Nok and Lu Wai Thursday, do you want some? Thanks. Lu Wai Thursday extended her cup. Please.
Nan Tan Nok, a bit shy, also handed hers.
Hee, you really look like a waiter. Van Han giggled.
Waiter, massage Granny's shoulders, reward you with 2 silver taels. Lu Waimong said boldly.
Right away, where is the silver?
So Fong suppressed a laugh, stretching his hand.
No silver, maybe repay with my body? Lu Waimong winked, struggling to say the teasing line. Ahem, I will prepare honey water for you, drink and sleep well. So Fong coughed awkwardly, quickly changing subject. Lu Wai Thursday pursed lips, nudging her sister's foot, whispering, Lu Waimong, do you want to die? How dare you say that? Hee, just joking. Lu Waimong laughed.
Lu Wai Thursday
NK
glared at her,
books.
as a sister she could not tell if it was real or not. Elsewhere in the forest, the Zhao brothers sat by a fire after dinner.
So hard.
Zhao lay side, leaning on a tree, fiddling with a branch. They had not returned to the camp, but stayed by the stream, in truth they forgot the way. Jolly looked at his injured leg wrapped in herbs, muttered, damn silver-headed seagull.
What now?
Zhao Lei asked, worried about his brother's leg.
What else? Wait until it heals.
Zhao Li grumbled, why must he twist his ankle? From now hunting is yours, until I recover do not provoke them.
Zhao Li said seriously. Me hunting? The bow is lost, how to hunt?
Zhao Lei protested angrily.
Do not make that face, my leg cannot move. Jolly pointed at the swollen leg, glancing at his brother. Do not forget, you lost the bow, should I still hunt? Angrier, he closed his eyes. Zhao Lei's anger faded, he stayed silent. Whether we starve I do not know, but less chance for meat. Zhao Li spoke with eyes closed. Zhao Lei sighed, deciding not to argue. He thought tomorrow he might search around, maybe find food. He asked, how is your leg? Same. Zhao Li sighed, worrying if he could still compete. Rest early, sleep will ease the pain. Zhao Lei said, closing his eyes. Zhao Li twitched his lips, thinking his brother spoke easily, not knowing pain prevents sleep. Chapter 724, Trick You as a Puppy. Aha! Van Han slowly opened her eyes, turned to look at So Fong beside her, and her lips curved in a smile. Her face flushed red, she carefully stood up, then hesitated before leaning down to leave a light kiss on his cheek. Van Han, what are you doing? Her face turned even redder, she muttered, then quickly rushed off the bed, put on her shoes, and carried her washing things downstairs. After she left, So Fong quietly opened his eyes, touched the cheek where she had kissed, and a smile appeared on his lips. His mood for the day became bright. Seems not bad. He sat up, still smiling. A rustling sound arose. He left the bed, put on his shoes, walked to the window, and laughed when he saw the girl squatting by the stream lost in thought. Van Han was squatting by the small stream, holding a toothbrush, her cheeks blushing, deep in thought. So Fong shook his head, then walked lightly to the bed of the Nan sisters, bending to look at Nan Nunok's left cheek. Ngo. He frowned, tapped her forehead, and saw part of the medicine paste had fallen off, likely rubbed off last night. Looks like it worked quite well. He murmured, noticing the scar had faded. Ngo. On the other bed, Lu Waimong turned over and muttered something. Dreams at night affect sleep quality, since the brain still works. If prolonged it may cause insomnia or low energy the next day. Aha! Good morning. Lu Wai Thursday got up, stretched lazily. Creak. The door opened, Van Han came in after washing. She saw So Fong, startled, then forced a smile. Good morning. He smiled faintly. Good morning. Well, I will prepare breakfast. She stiffened, then went to the kitchen. What is wrong with her? Lu Wai Thursday asked. I have no idea. So Fong shrugged and went downstairs. Van Han squatted in the kitchen, absent-minded with a firestone, wondering, could he know? So strange. Lu Wai Thursday muttered and went downstairs too. After more than 10 minutes, Lu Waimong woke, followed by the Nan sisters. Sister, do I look scary? Nan Nunok asked softly. Nan Ton Nok stroked her short hair and said, not really, but wash first, the medicine is all over the bed. Okay. She covered her cheek, put on grass shoes, and went downstairs. Creak. At that time, the door opened, so Fong and Lu Wai Thursday came back. Good morning. She greeted politely. Good morning. He nodded, smiled, and asked, you want to wash your face? Yes, isn't it allowed after getting up? She replied innocently. Yes, but use warm water, the stream is too cold for the skin. He said gently. All right, I will boil water. She nodded shyly and walked to the kitchen. After nearly 20 minutes, she washed off the medicine, then wiped her face carefully with a hot towel. Lift your face. So Fong whispered. Okay. She lowered the towel, pushed her hair back. Everyone stared in shock. Seeing their expressions, her face turned pale, she trembled. What is wrong? Did it not work? She bit her lip, forcing a bitter smile. It is fine, I was prepared. Nan Ton Nok's eyes reddened, touching her cheek. Nu Nok, your scar has faded. Better than expected. So Fong was surprised too, the scar was lighter than in the morning. Nan Ton Nok hugged her, smiling. Silly, of course it is true. She felt joy never before, though the scar remained, hope appeared. Van Han said softly, too bad no mirror,
or you could see it yourself. The scar had faded greatly, no longer frightening.
Really not lying? She asked tearfully, touching her cheek. Of course, trick you as a puppy. Lu Waimong pouted innocently. I want to see at the stream.
She went down, squatted by the stream, and leaned her face near the water.
Cannot see clearly.
She sighed, stood up, and dusted her hands.
Tan Nok followed, smiling. How is it? Not clear. She sighed again. Silly, just look into my eyes, can you see yourself? Tan Nok cupped her face, their foreheads touched. Yes.
Nunak smiled, hugging her sister, whether true or not.
No longer mattered. Chapter 725, Beating is closeness, scolding is love? So nice. Lu Yimeng propped her chin inside.
Envious?
Books.
Su Feng tilted his head and asked with a smile. He, not envious, my sister treats me well, though she always beats me.
Lu Yimeng casually hugged her sister's shoulder and joked. Lu Yizhu glared at her sister, unable to refute. Beating means closeness, scolding is love.
Yun Han covered her mouth and laughed.
Then let Su Feng beat you a few times. Lu Yimeng pouted and teased. Su Feng would not. Yun Han laughed brightly. Who said? Su Feng frowned, slapped lightly on the girl's hip, and said with a smile, Isn't this beating? Really, praising you for nothing.
Yun Han blushed, glared at Su Feng, and ran away shyly.
TSK, bold in desire, bold in action, impressive.
Lu Yimeng teased with raised brows.
Cough.
Su Feng chuckled and left too, or he would soon be played with. Soon after, the Nan sisters entered. Nan Ruyu went straight to Su Feng, sincerely bowed and said, Su Feng, thank you.
Does your left cheek feel uncomfortable?
Su Feng asked softly. Only a little itchy, not uncomfortable.
Nan Ruyu said honestly.
That is good, no need to scratch, endure a bit and it will pass.
Su Feng instructed.
The itch was caused by the herb paste, processed to remove toxicity, but the itching remained, though harmless.
MHM. Nan Ruyu nodded obediently. Here is some paste, apply again tonight.
Su Feng handed her a ceramic jar.
Okay. Nan Ruyu accepted, then blushed and asked, Tonight you will not help me apply?
I must go out today, the herbs are finished, I may only return tomorrow. Su Feng replied gently. The nearby forest was already searched, so he had to go farther.
Then I will go with you. Nan Ruyu said quickly. All right. Nan Ruyu lowered her head. I will go too. Nan Xingyu said sincerely. Lu Yimeng raised her hand, me too, we are childhood friends. Eat breakfast first, later I help you pack.
Yun Han pouted, placed the pot on the wooden table. Su Feng smiled, rubbed the girl's head, and said dotingly, Be good, when I return I will cook for you.
Mei-chem, come back early tomorrow.
Yun Han hugged Su Feng's waist and said playfully, If not, I will come find you.
All right.
Su Feng pinched her nose. After more than half an hour, breakfast done, the girls prepared supplies. Bring the axe, firestone, salt, oil, dried venison. Yun Han muttered while packing the basket. Yun Han, no need firestone, keep it.
Su Feng said. Right, you know how to light fire, keep it here.
Yun Han nodded, removed the firestone. Ruyu, while I am gone, remember to seek help when needed. Nan Xingyu held her sister's hand.
Mei-chem, I know. Nan Ruyu nodded, feeling guilty for consuming resources. Okay, sister, be careful, do not leave Su Feng, he can protect you. Nan Ruyu said seriously. Ba. All right, Yimeng, Xingyu, bring bows, ready to go. Su Feng clapped. Coming.
Nan Xingyu answered, then took her bow and followed.
Sister, I am leaving.
Lu Yiming waved to her sister washing dishes by the stream.
Be careful, especially your legs. Lu Yizhu stood and reminded.
Lu Yiming almost stumbled, then turned. Got it, rest assured.
Su Feng, come back soon. Yun Han waved.
All right, when I am away, keep the door closed, Rui will guard you.
Su Feng said. Understood. Yun Han looked at Rui on the roof, wondering. Creak.
Rui tilted its head, seemingly dissatisfied with her gaze. Sister, be careful.
Nan Ruyu chased after. Okay, remember the herb bundle. Nan Xingyu waved. MHM. Nan Ruyu answered. Boom.
The gate closed, Su Feng left with the two girls.
All right. Nan Ruyu responded.
The two sisters moved logs to block the gate.
Yun Han, what to do today? I can help. Nan Ruyu asked. Plenty for you.
Weed the garden, handle rice, clean rabbit dung, tidy cage.
Yun Han counted with a smile.
Then weed first, before it gets hot.
Yun Han thought and said. How? Nan Ruyu followed to the garden.
Very simple, these are weeds, pull them, but carefully.
These are new sprouts, separate them. Yun Han instructed. So simple, leave to me. Nan Ruyu smiled, dimples appearing, very cute. Chapter 726, Watch Me Stab You or Not.
So Feng carried a bamboo basket by the stream, with Nan Tan Nak and Lu Waimong walking beside him, chatting softly.
Tan Nak, did you know? So Feng once lifted a saltwater crocodile weighing several hundred catties. I was terrified then.
Lu Waimong vividly described.
Lift a saltwater crocodile weighing several hundred catties? Is that true?
Nan Tan Nak opened her small mouth slightly, her face full of astonishment.
Lu Waimong pouted towards So Feng, innocently saying, Of course it is true. If you don't believe, let So Feng carry us two around right now. Ah, really?
Nan Tan Nak blushed, then said softly, But the two of us together weigh less than 200 catties.
Right, then let's see if we can catch a wild boar. Adding up should equal a crocodile. Lu Waimong stroked her chin and nodded. Q-Tam B.A.
So Feng's lips twitched, not knowing where that came from. He tilted his head with a grin. I can lift you and throw you around twice.
Turn into Feng Firewheel? Lu Waimong pouted with a huff. Want to try?
So Feng
NK
smirked
books.
teasingly. With his current strength, carrying two girls and spinning was nothing.
No way.
The two girls shouted in unison.
Nan Tan Nak tilted her head and gently asked, So Feng, what herbs are we looking for?
There are many, like child water caltrop, camelline, yuan flower. So Feng slung the bow on his shoulder, counting 7 or 8 kinds, then said, In short, as long as it is useful, we take it.
Ah, so many herbs, no wonder we must stay overnight. Lu Waimong nodded thoughtfully. Yes, herbs can be met but not sought, finding them depends on fate. So Feng sighed. Then if we don't find them, what do we do? Nan Tan Nak asked anxiously. If not, we use substitutes, although weaker, still usable.
So Feng gave a reassuring look.
Lu Waimong tugged his robe, laughing. So where do we go now?
Upstream, then around the forest. So Feng replied casually.
Okay. Lu Waimong nodded.
Nan Tan Nak gripped her bow tightly, nervously scanning the bushes.
She was surprised to see So Feng and Lu Waimong so relaxed, and asked, Is it safe to be so loose in the wild? What's wrong? Don't worry, relax.
Lu Waimong hugged Nan Tan Nak's shoulder, teasing, Relax when So Feng is here, be cautious when he's not.
Really?
Nan Tan Nak asked, surprised. Don't listen to her nonsense, staying alert is right, Waimong is just used to it. So Feng tapped her head, scolding, teaching bad habits.
No way.
Lu Waimong raised her small fist at him.
Stop fooling.
So Fong chuckled, pressing her forehead, letting her fists wave helplessly. Nantan Nok covered her mouth, laughing, Lu Waimong's hands too short to reach. So Fong released, pinching her nose gently. Alright, don't waste time, let's go. Nearly 3 hours later, the three walked along the brook, chatting.
Come on, into the forest. So Fong tilted his head, leading the way.
Inside, Nantan Nok grew more tense, even Lu Waimong grew serious, scanning around.
Only So Fong remained relaxed, watching for herbs.
Soon, fortune shone, he stopped under a big tree, spotting the first herb.
Did you find something? Nantan Nok asked doubtfully.
Yes, it's water caltrop. So Fong said, crouching by a plant resembling mimosa. Water caltrop, also called child caltrop, looks like mimosa, its fruit used medicinally. It is slightly poisonous, needing processing before use, useful for eyesight, relieving melancholy, dispelling dampness, combined with others for bladder treatment.
Water caltrop? I don't know, should we pull the whole root? Nantan Nok frowned, realizing she didn't know it. All right.
She nodded, carefully picking and packing them.
Friends, water caltrop is slightly poisonous, don't use it randomly.
So Fong looked up at the drone, reminding, do not imitate.
So Fong is so kind, reminding us. So Fong is the best, we will obey.
Tisk, licking dogs gain nothing. Shut up, don't act tough online, meet me in real life and I'll stab you.
Nantan Nok saw only a few herbs in the bag, asked softly, is this enough? Yes, barely enough, of course more is better.
So Fong replied gently.
Understood, I'll keep watch.
Nantan Nok nodded seriously, then searched.
Don't touch, get away. So Fong shouted angrily. What happened?
Nantan Nok rushed over, confused.
She hit me again.
Lu Waimong's face flushed, pouting.
Chapter 727, You will not have a girlfriend in the future. Yes, what will happen if we touch it? Lu Waimong asked softly. Who? So Fong exhaled, then explained, the ragweed's pollen is extremely allergenic, it can cause coughing, sneezing, wheezing, and many other problems.
It can also cause allergic rhinitis. It may make eyes water, and if it touches the skin, it causes itching and rashes. If you inhale too much pollen, it can even cause death.
So Fong sighed.
When pollen density is high, inhalation causes dermatitis, coughing, and recurring illness, which can worsen yearly, leading to bronchiectasis, cor pulmonale, or even death.
So scary, let's go quickly. Lu Waimong pulled So Fong's clothes. Go, or you will tear my shirt.
So Fong said with a wry smile.
You read many animal books, you know a lot. Lu Waimong winked playfully. Hee, am I wrong? She smiled. She swore, when we leave Huen Noyet Island, I will read animal books.
With your lazy nature, you will forget in a few days, like when you practiced martial arts. So Fong looked at her deeply.
Who says that? She blushed, I will read. So Fong shook his head, before, you tried archery, martial arts, singing.
Lu Waimong was silent, then raised her head. So Fong, if you are like this, you will not have a girlfriend. So Fong also fell silent, smiled bitterly, again that line, you win.
Hee,
She laughed and raised her hand. Also, many poisonous plants exist in the forest, do not touch them carelessly.
So Fong warned, last time was poisonous mushrooms, this time is plants. Okay, I am listening. Lu Waimong nodded. Nantan Nok listened too. Besides ragweed, there are giant hogweed, thorn plants, aconite. So Fong counted and described.
Hogweed grows tall, 3 to 4 meters, umbrella flowers, its sap causes skin blisters, later darkens.
Thorns have big jagged leaves, rough surface, touching causes blisters. But processed, they can be medicine. So are thorn plants poisonous or not?
Nantan Nok asked.
They are not truly poisonous, just harmful to skin. So Fong explained.
Aconite has divided leaves, conical flowers, the whole plant is poisonous, can stop the heart.
He added NK books.
But if prepared properly, it is medicine, pain relief, even cancer treatment.
In short, do not touch strange plants, better stay away.
Nan Tan Nok concluded. But they all have medicinal value, careful use is fine.
Lu Waimong said. Actually, many more plants are poisonous, like Gelsemium, Nux vomica, Thevisia, poison arrow tree. So Fong lectured further. He wished to fill the girls' heads with knowledge. Listening to you, I feel surrounded by poison, I dare not climb mountains even in the city. Lu Waimong shivered. Haha, not so serious, otherwise many people would die each year. So Fong laughed. She exhaled, that is true. Suddenly Nan Tan Nok pointed, So Fong, is that aconite? Surprised, he saw aconite ahead. Yes, it is. He smiled bitterly. See, I think we should stop climbing mountains. Lu Waimong muttered. You never sit still. So Fong said calmly. Lu Waimong gritted her teeth, tilted her head. So Fong, if you are like this, you will not have a girlfriend. Chapter 728, The Monkeys Go Wild. This seems like weeds too, better pull it up. She muttered softly, reaching out to pluck the grass around the taro. You, take a break, you did not wear the white hat, what if you get sunburned? Van Han called from the stairs. Nan Yu stood up, wiped the sweat on her forehead with her hand, and carelessly said, A little darker is nothing. That will not do, come up and sit, I will make some ice cream. Van Han urged. That morning she had been busy cleaning the rabbit cage, clearing feces and urine, changing the damp rotten hay, and gathering the fallen fur and debris. Sister Thursday, come eat some too. Van Han called. All right, you eat first, I will finish this quickly. Luyu Thursday answered, shoveling the piled deer droppings and urine, holding her breath as she dumped it into the waste pit. She was in charge of cleaning the yard, clearing leaves, deer dung, and all kinds of trash. Looks much cleaner. Luyu Thursday set down the shovel, breathed out, feeling relieved at the tidy courtyard. She washed the shovel with dry grass, shook it dry, then went upstairs. Honey flavor, so tasty. Inside the wooden house, Nan Yu sat at the wooden table, lifting the ceramic bowl of ice cream, smiling with satisfaction. Sister Thursday, come sit quickly. Van Han laughed, using a short knife to carve more ice. Okay. Luyu Thursday pulled a chair. In front of her was already a bowl of ice cream stacked high, topped with golden honey, with coconut meat and candied green apples on the side. She exclaimed, so rich. Try the different taste. Van Han said with a smile. Nan Yu opened her small mouth, cold air seeping out, her voice muffled, the flavor is really good, sweet and refreshing. Yes, when we return to the city, we could open an ice cream shop. Luyu Thursday said gently. Maybe it will lose money. Van Han chuckled, compared to the many flavors in the city shops, how not to lose? Nan Yu giggled, as long as you open it, I will support, every time I will order 2 bowls. Only 1 bowl, too much will upset the stomach. Van Han said. Fine. Nan Yu pursed her lips, slowed her eating, still thinking of asking for another bowl later, since much remained. 2 bowls a day, the rest saved for noon. Van Han said kindly. All right. Nan Yu nodded. Van Han scooped her portion, then put the rest back into the ice basin. Yu, wear the hat. Van Han handed her the wide hat of Lu Yumong. Wearing is inconvenient. Nan Yu said innocently. Van Han placed the hat on her head, speaking softly, though a bit troublesome, this way you avoid sunstroke. She walked into the garden, pointing at the thorn fence. Van Han, what is that? Grapevine, planted by So Fong, growing fast, already climbing the fence. Van Han explained. At the garden edge near the thorn fence, the grapevine planted by So Fong after watering with nutrient solution had sprouted new branches, quickly wrapping the fence.
Luyu Thursday came closer, seems about to bloom.
She pushed aside leaves, spotting tiny flower clusters, soon small grapes would grow.
Looks like before leaving Huin Noyet Island, we can taste grapes from So Fong.
Van Han teased.
Should be possible. Luyu Thursday nodded, at this growth speed it was certain.
Chit chit chit. Suddenly strange cries sounded outside the fence. Did you hear? Van Han frowned.
Yes, like monkey cries. Luyu Thursday listened, then confirmed, it is monkeys.
Monkeys, are there monkeys here? Nan Yu asked in surprise. Chit chit chit.
The cries grew louder, approaching the camp. Soon they echoed by their ears, and noises came from beyond the fence.
Rustle. Chit chit chit. What do monkeys want here? Van Han stepped back, wary of the fence holding them. Not sure, maybe just curious. Luyu Thursday guessed, also stepping back.
Nan Yuyu's face filled with curiosity, she had never seen monkeys up close.
Yu, come quickly.
Luyu Thursday urged.
Chit chit chit.
Suddenly a stone as big as a peach was thrown in. Landing right in front of the girl, only half a step away.
What are they trying to do?
Van Han was startled, backing quickly.
What madness are the monkeys playing?
Luyu Thursday frowned.
Should we go out and see? Nan Yu's goodwill began to fade. No, too dangerous. Van Han and Luyu Thursday shook their heads together. Whoosh!
More stones were hurled, this time splashing into the stream, water nearly soaking them.
Screech!
In the sky, a dark shadow rushed close, the whistling sound clear, flying straight toward outside the fence.
NK Books, Chapter 729, So Fong Bird is extremely strong. Chit chit chit.
After a moment, the monkeys screamed in panic, mixed with strange noises.
Coo coo.
The bird soared high, then fell back, its figure blocked by the barrier again.
Chit chit chit.
Outside, the monkey's cries grew more tragic, until finally quieting, then the bird flew up again, clutching a dead monkey in its talons, and disappeared into the forest. Inside the shelter, viewers saw the entire scene through the drone, shivering in fear. It is truly powerful, even 5 monkeys were not its match. So bloody, their bellies torn apart.
So Fong Bird is this fierce?
It attacks without hesitation.
Unbelievably strong. Nan Nu Nok gaped, staring at Bok Lai. Van Han exhaled softly, recalling So Fong's words before leaving, and said in shock, was it protecting us just now? It must be. Lu Wai Thursday nodded gently, amazed by the bird's intelligence. Should we go outside to check? Nan Nu Nok asked again. Lu Wai Thursday hesitated, then whispered, wait a while longer. Yes, better to be cautious. Van Han agreed.
Nearly half an hour later, Van Han quietly opened the back door, cautiously peered out, and when certain the monkeys had gone, pushed the main door wide. Blood everywhere, monkey fur scattered. She frowned at the chaotic mess, bushes and weeds stained with blood.
Could the bird be injured? Nan Nu Nok asked with worry. Probably not, I just saw it flying strongly.
Van Han said uncertainly, her face still worried.
Lu Wai Thursday closed the door, looked toward Bok Lai, and sighed, I wonder where it flew to.
Van Han thought, then reasoned, no, outside is too dangerous, and it can fly far, now maybe 10 kilometers away, we are not So Fong, we cannot find it.
All right.
Nan Nu Nok pursed her lips, knowing her friend was right, searching would be hopeless.
Let us not assume the worst, once full it should return.
Lu Wai Thursday comforted softly, though worry lingered in her heart.
Yes, that is all we can do.
Van Han sighed, deciding to reward the bird with fish meat when it returned.
Finally lost them. He panted, sweat dripping, slumping under a tree. Just for one little monkey, why chase me so far?
Zhao Lei glared at the monkey in his hand, angry. This morning, he had left camp, wandering near the stream, when he stumbled into monkey territory. He intended to leave quietly, but a small monkey strayed close. In the end, Zhao Lei could not resist hunger, attacked it, drawing the whole troop, and had to run wildly, reaching the thorn fence near camp.
Huff huff. Zhao Lei gasped, finally calming. He rested briefly, then walked back to camp.
Over 2 hours later, he arrived, but did not see his younger brother.
Thud thud.
Footsteps sounded. Zhao Lei turned, and saw his brother with wild vegetables under his arm.
Zhao Lei used a stick to hop closer, surprised. Ah, you are back already? Zhao Lei frowned. Where did you go?
I dug wild vegetables, otherwise we eat dirt today?
Zhao Lei snapped, then froze as his gaze fell. Zhao Lei waved the little monkey, proud. Ha, today we have meat. Gulp. Zhao Lei swallowed, quickly asked, where did you catch it? A long story, but I caught it. Zhao Lei said.
Zhao Lei exclaimed, I did not expect you could catch prey.
Zhao Lei glared. What do you mean, do you want meat or not? Haha, I will clean it, you fetch firewood.
Zhao Lei laughed, since camp was almost out of wood.
Fine, clean it properly.
Zhao Lei glanced at his limping brother, knowing chores still fell on him. Do not worry, when you return meat will be ready.
Zhao Lei waved, pulling out knife and pot, eyes shining. Zhao Lei pressed his lips, endured hunger, and left.
The monkey was tiny, smaller than a cat, and once skinned, even less meat.
Enough for one meal?
Zhao Lei muttered, disappointed, sighed, still better than nothing. He cleaned its insides, fighting nausea, then chopped off its head, unwilling to eat something so human-like.
Not even a full pot. He sighed again, set up a fire with gathered wood, and began to cook. Chapter 730, Younger than me by 2 years. Stop and rest before moving on.
So Fong called out to Nan Tan Nak and Lu Waimong ahead.
All right.
Lu Waimong stopped, found a big tree and sat down. Nan Tan Nak took out a bamboo flask, handed it to them, and gently said, drink some water.
Good, I am thirsty too.
So Fong smiled, took the flask, opened the plug, and drank a few gulps.
Clunk, clunk.
Lu Waimong sealed the flask again, sighed with relief, I feel better.
Luckily the trees here are dense, otherwise it would be hotter.
Nan Tan Nak looked up at the thick canopy blocking half the sunlight.
True, we should have brought some ice.
Lu Waimong stood, panting, and sighed. So Fong spoke gently, endure a little longer, when the sun sets it will be cool.
So Fong, how many herbs did we find?
Nan Tan Nak asked softly.
Not even half yet.
So Fong glanced at the basket, said helplessly, I doubt we can find enough before tomorrow. Nan Tan Nak pursed her lips, guilt filling her face, I troubled you. She sighed inwardly, this favor was too big, how to repay later?
Shall we return the day after? Lu Waimong asked.
So Fong smiled lightly, no, if I do not return tomorrow, Van Han will go looking. He knew Van Han, as she knew him, once said then done.
Yes, if you do not return, sister will be worried too. Lu Waimong muttered.
Do not worry, if we cannot finish tomorrow, we will return first, then go out again the day after. So Fong stood, dusted off, smiled, there is not much time left today.
Nan Tan Nak nodded, eyes full of gratitude. Are you still tired? So Fong asked gently.
NK
Not
books.
tired.
Both replied, then stood, and patted the dust off. So Fong carried the basket, smiling, then let us go, maybe luck will help us find the rest.
He, that would be perfect. Lu Waimong cheered.
Hope the ring of luck gives us strength, not like a broken chain.
So Fong muttered. What are you talking about?
Lu Waimong tilted her head curiously.
Nothing, just stay alert. So Fong changed the subject. Lu Waimong pouted, fine.
The three kept walking, time passed, light dimmed, the sun vanished behind the western peak, less than an hour till dark.
All right, I will gather firewood.
Lu Waimong put down the basket, drew her axe, and turned to the woods.
Wait, let me go, you and Tan Nok stay and prepare dinner.
So Fong quickly stopped her.
Fine.
Lu Waimong curved her lips, shoved the axe into his hand.
By habit, So Fong patted her head gently. Stay put, do not wander, I will be back soon. You are 2 years younger than me, yet speak like a senior.
Lu Waimong wrinkled her nose at him.
Be careful.
Nan Tan Nok called.
Got it.
So Fong waved without turning.
Waimong, that example was not good.
Nan Tan Nok smiled bitterly.
Hee, ignore the details. Lu Waimong giggled, let us prepare dinner. All right.
Nan Tan Nok laughed, survival like this was enchanting. Lu Waimong took out the iron pot, salted meat, spices, and picked dry grass for fire.
She searched her pocket, realized she forgot flint, then asked, Tan Nok, can you make fire? Leave it to me. Nan Tan Nok said softly, pulled out a rope, broke a branch to make a bow drill. Amazing, I could never learn it. Lu Waimong admired. Very easy, with tools it works well.
Nan Tan Nok used her knife to carve wood and started drilling.
Crack, crack.
But after more than 10 minutes, wood kept spinning, no smoke at all.
Huff.
Nan Tan Nok paused, laughed bitterly, seems luck is bad today. She blew hard, still no smoke, failure.
Let me try. Lu Waimong said eagerly. After 10 minutes, both laughed helplessly, still no fire. I try again.
Nan Tan Nok breathed deep, tried once more, annoyed, before it was easy, why hard now?
Go, go. Lu Waimong cheered.
Another 10 minutes, Nan Tan Nok gave up, rubbed her wrist, laughed bitterly, forget it, wait for So Fong.
Lu Waimong sighed, yes, only that way. It was easy before.
Nan Tan Nok muttered.
Life
has ups and downs, do not mind.
Lu Waimong smiled. Just a little vexed and puzzled. Nan Tan Nok forced to smile. Cut the meat first. Lu Waimong said innocently. All right. Nan Tan Nok nodded, suddenly remembered, surprised, Waimong, you said So Fong is 2 years younger than you. Chapter 731, Intelligence Offline.
Nan Tan Nok was stunned, she said in disbelief, so he is still so young.
Hee, does So Fong look that old?
Lu Waimong raised her head and teased.
No.
Nan Tan Nok smiled shyly.
Lu Waimong recalled something, she asked, by the way, you seem about the same age as So Fong? Yes.
Nan Tan Nok nodded lightly, though their age was similar, their experience and knowledge could not be compared.
Lu Waimong sighed like an old man, youth is really precious. You are also very young.
Nan Tan Nok replied carefully.
Lu Waimong rubbed her face and said sadly, young what, I always feel 30 years old is not far.
Nan Tan Nok stayed silent, the phrase 393 truly had no response.
Tap tap tap.
Suddenly footsteps echoed from the forest, making the 2 female officers wary, they quickly grabbed their bows ready for an enemy.
Do not worry, it is me. So Fong appeared in their sight.
Lu Waimong breathed out, then urged, great, help me start the fire.
Okay.
So Fong put down the wood, broke dry branches, then squatted to strike fire skillfully. After a few minutes, under their surprised eyes, he lit the fire easily.
Done, dinner is yours.
So Fong clapped his hands.
So amazing.
Nan Tan Nok praised, wondering if fire making had any secret.
Do not be shocked, this is basic survival skill.
So Fong said proudly.
Lu Waimong rolled her eyes, could he stop being so annoying?
She huffed, placed the pot on the fire, poured water to cook.
So Fong, is there a secret to fire making? Nan Tan Nok finally asked. Secret?
If you are fast enough, you can start fire anywhere on Earth.
So Fong joked. She asked curiously, which ancient said that? Ha ha ha.
So Fong laughed, then briefly explained the skill.
So that is it.
Nan Tan Nok nodded thoughtfully, deciding to try again later, suspecting her earlier success was just luck. So Fong leaned against a tree, watching the two girls busy at the fire.
Nan Tan Nok held wild vegetables, gently asked, "Why Mom, should I put this in?" "Wait, if you put now it will be mushy." Lu Wai Mong explained. "Ah, okay." Nan Tan Nok nodded. After more than 20 minutes, hot stew was ready. "Eat quickly."
Lu Wai Mong handed chopsticks to So Fong and Nan Tan Nok.
"Smells nice." So Fong sniffed meat before eating. Lu Wai Mong proudly said, "It tastes even better." "Very good." So Fong smiled and gave thumbs up.
Nan Tan Nok admired, "So delicious, better than my cooking."
"Eat more then." Lu Wai Mong laughed, serving her extra. Mm. Nan Tan Nok nodded. NK books. So Fong responded, still cautious. "Fine, I listen." So Fong nodded. "Remember to wake me." Nan Tan Nok reminded.
After dinner, they played three stones game on ground, drew a grid, used pebbles as pieces, whoever aligned three in line would win.
"Rock paper scissors, winner goes first," Lu Wai Mong said.
So Fong shook his head, "Give up, you cannot win me."
"How to know if not try?" Lu Wai Mong glared. "All right, come."
So Fong smiled, showing scissors.
"Lost again, why?"
Lu Wai Mong saw she showed paper, angry at her hand. So Fong placed a pebble in the center, smiled, "Luck."
"Such good luck." He blocked her move. Lu Wai Mong flicked her hair, "Block me, no way." She placed pebble on corner. "Ah. Redo, I did wrong." Lu Wai Mong pouted.
So Fong flicked her forehead, laughed, "No redo, only a forehead tap."
"Again." Lu Wai Mong muttered. "Come." She played again, this time showing rock. So Fong opened his hand, laughed, "You lost." "Ah, why again?"
Lu Wai Mong sulked, wondering when luck turned bad.
"I warned you."
So Fong smiled, placed stone center.
"One more, this time I will not fall." Lu Wai Mong snorted, blocking his way. She quickly placed another stone diagonal, huffed, "No way to make a line." "You lost again."
So Fong shook head, placing stone forming triangle.
The one way was blocked, other ways remained, he would still win. Chapter 732, Not Marry? I will marry. This is not called cunning, it is just you being too slow.
So Fong frowned and shook his head. Lu Wai Mong glared at him until he looked awkward, then she said, "If you are like this, you will never have a girlfriend."
So Fong's lips twitched, why did it turn into this? "Let me try." Nan Tan Nok held back laughter and spoke.
Lu Wai Mong stood up, moved aside and muttered, "Fine, best beat him into a mess." So Fong picked up the stone again, waited confidently, "But it will not be so easy."
"All right, punish me when I am weaker," he answered irrelevantly.
Nan Tan Nok curled her lips, finding him amusing.
"Tan Nok, why are you spacing out?"
Lu Wai Mong waved her hand before her face.
"Ah. Nothing, make your move."
Nan Tan Nok blushed and lowered her head.
"Rock."
She spoke and then clenched her fist in silence.
Lu Wai Mong widened her eyes and shouted, "So Fong, this time you cheated. This is called no trick forbidden, who plays rock paper scissors and announces first?" He glanced at her calmly, without shame. "I call."
Nan Tan Nok laughed helplessly, recalling most people have that habit.
"Yes, that is foolish," he teased. The spectators erupted. "Ha ha ha, so Fong played dirty. Whoever calls is foolish, I also call. Evil So Fong online. Cough cough, your turn." He held back laughter, placed the stone at the center well, same path. "Tan Nok, be careful, he has many tricks," Lu Wai Mong warned. "All right."
Nan Ton Nok focused. She thought and placed the stone aside, predicting his next move.
Good, your turn.
He casually dropped his stone below center. She hesitated, then blocked one side, preventing his line.
What result?
She stared at the board cautiously. It is either one wins or a draw. He shrugged, the well board was filled, neither formed a line.
A draw? She was stunned, only now noticing it was full. Ends like this, boring. Lu Wai Mong pouted.
It is just to pass time, after some games it grows dull. He stretched, looked at the clear starry sky.
I will play 2 rounds with Ton Nok.
She sat beside him.
All right.
Nan Ton Nok picked another stone, continuing.
In another cabin, Van Han and others prepared dinner. Seems he will not return tonight.
Van Han left the window, sat down.
By now they must have eaten well.
Lu Wai Thursday said gently.
True, let us eat too.
Van Han smiled, scooped stew with a wooden spoon.
Nan Nu Nok received the bowl and softly asked, Van Han, are you worried about him?
A little.
She placed down a bowl, sat. Was it not said he could fight bears and tigers? Why worry? Nan Nu Nok asked.
Even so, I cannot control my thoughts. Van Han rested her chin, helpless.
Nan Nu Nok pressed lips, that is true.
She also worried for her sister, first night apart. Thursday sister, are you not worried? She asked.
I am used to it. Lu Wai Thursday whispered, he is stronger than you think.
The girl was startled, then sighed. Van Han froze, then smiled, yes, in half a year he has changed a lot.
His body? Lu Wai Thursday raised brows, rare teasing. That too.
Van Han blushed, recalling how he was skinny, now muscular, like another man.
We eat the same, why is he taller? She puzzled. Nan Nu Nok seriously said, women cannot compare height with men, it is unfair.
Yes, now he is tall and gives a safe feeling. Van Han's cheeks reddened, eyes drifting.
So you need not worry, who could harm him now? Lu Wai Thursday smiled. Yes, hearing you I feel much better.
Van Han said gratefully. Thursday sister, it is not settled yet. She lowered her head shyly. Van Han quickly waved, nothing, do not listen to her nonsense.
Nan Nu Nok's eyes turned sly, not marry? Then do I have a chance?
Van Han grew tense, marry, who said not, only it is too soon now.
Creak.
Suddenly a clear sound came from outside the window.
Chapter 733, just like that, nothing left?
Van Han and the others immediately stopped talking, glanced at each other, and quickly stood up. The 3 took torches, pushed the door open, and carefully went downstairs in the firelight.
Clearly, come down quickly. Van Han stood in the yard, raised the torch high, trying to see clearly on the roof.
Unfortunately, her height was limited, the firelight only lit a small area, and she could barely see a large bird on the roof.
Creak!
Clearly cried, then with flapping wings a dark shadow plunged from the wooden house roof, landing 3 or 4 meters away in the courtyard.
Clearly, are you all right? Van Han held the torch closer. Creak! Clearly stepped back several paces. It may fear fire. Lu Wai Thursday softly reminded. Yes, afraid of fire. Van Han quickly stuck the torch into the ground, then stepped closer, this time it did not retreat. She touched its feathers, gently asking. Are you hurt? Van Han, do you see any injury? Lu Wai Thursday tenderly asked.
I cannot see, but by touch I find no wounds.
Van Han replied, squatting to check carefully. Clearly stood obediently still, letting her examine. Let me see. Lu Wai Thursday tried to raise the torch, but seeing it ready to retreat, she stopped. She also stuck the torch into the ground, softly stepped closer, and immediately smelled blood, a fishy odor unlike the bird's scent. It seems unhurt.
Luai Thursday squatted and touched its claws, rough but without injury.
Clearly, if injured cry once, if not then cry twice. Van Hans suddenly suggested. Creak creak. Clearly tilted its head and cried twice, showing it was fine. Great, not hurt then good. Van Han and Luai Thursday both breathed relief, inwardly amazed. What had So Fong done to make it so obedient? Clearly truly understands your words? Nan Nu Nok asked in surprise.
It should understand a little. Van Han smiled, stroked its head, then ran upstairs to get fish meat as reward.
Soon she returned with a bag of fish, opened it before it. Eat, your reward. Van Han smiled gently. Creak.
Clearly looked at the smoked fish, then glanced at her, spread wings, and flew back to the roof.
Maybe it is not hungry, remember it caught a monkey today. Luai Thursday guessed. Then tomorrow it will eat. Van Han nodded, tied the bag, smiling brightly. Since clearly is fine, let us return to dinner. Luai Thursday nodded, took the torch and went upstairs. Shall we warm the meat? Van Han softly asked. No need, eat as is, still tasty. Luai Thursday picked stewed meat, chewing indistinctly. No need to bother. Nan Nu Nok gently agreed. Good. Van Han smiled, holding a large bowl eating stew. I will wash the dishes. Luai Thursday stood, gathered bowls, and went to the stream. Sister Thursday, I will help you. Nan Nu Nok stood. I will help you bandage. Van Han stood, took the medicine jar. All right. Nan Nu Nok obediently sat. Do not move.
Van Han finished applying medicine, wrapped cloth around her cheek, tied a knot, and softly said.
Done, but you must not move much, later lie down to rest. Nan Nu Nok nodded, tilting her head back to keep the medicine in place. Creak. Luai Thursday entered, placing clean dishes on the rack. Sister Thursday, play chess? Van Han smiled. All right.
Luai Thursday's eyes lit up, she sat at the wooden table, the board ready.
I also want to play. Nan Nu Nok said innocently. Van Han thought then proposed. The loser changes turn, okay? Okay.
Luai Thursday nodded seriously, her chess skill close to So Fong. Elsewhere in the forest, the Zhao brothers were unsatisfied, the iron pot empty, even the soup drunk.
Tsk tisk.
Zhao Lei picked his teeth with a stick, face showing satisfaction. The meal just now was the best in more than a month.
The taste was ordinary. Zhao Li patted his belly. Cough, just this one meal. Zhao Li sighed. Zhao Lei quickly asked. What do you mean? Do you think that monkey had much meat? Zhao Li scolded. After skinning and gutting, less than a pheasant, without wild vegetables. Not enough for a meal. So we already ate the whole monkey? Zhao Lei was stunned. Damn, just like that, nothing left?
Zhao Lei was annoyed, tomorrow again worried for meat.
Yes, nothing left. Zhao Li calmly said. But the head remains, if you want I can fetch it. Bah, I do not want. Zhao Lei angrily glared, did he want to scar his mind?
He bowed, thinking if tomorrow he should check the monkey's place again.
Chapter 734, You two, fall down. Crack.
So Fong broke a long branch and threw it into the fire, the flames flared up again.
Ha ha.
Luai Mong yawned, her face tired.
Then sleep first. So Fong clapped his hands softly and said gently, I will guard tonight. Ha ha.
Luai Mong forced herself to stay awake and snapped, No, I said I would guard until midnight. I fear you will fall asleep halfway, then danger will come without you knowing.
So Fong whispered with a faint smile.
Luai Mong pinched her side, startled, and said brightly, No way, I am very awake now.
Fine, call me if something happens.
So Fong shook his head with a bitter smile, thankful for his alert senses. "It is nothing, just sleep quickly, or you will be tired tomorrow." So Fong shrugged and stretched before
NK
lying beside
books.
the fire. They had no sleeping bags, only dry grass for bedding. Nantan Nok pursed her lips and lay on the other side, still watching Lu Waimong with worry. "Sleep, do not worry, I am fine." Lu Waimong smiled softly at her.
Nantan Nok's lips twitched, uneasy. Clack.
Time passed slowly. Lu Waimong stubbornly guarded the fire, her body swaying, eyes nearly closed.
Ha ha.
She tilted her head, almost falling.
So sleepy.
She pressed her side again to stay alert. She stood, walking circles around the fire, muttering, "I do not want to sleep, I do not want to sleep."
Ah, still too sleepy.
She ruffled her short hair helplessly. Beside her, So Fong and Nantan Nok slept soundly, breathing evenly in the night.
"I want to sleep too,"
she murmured, then sat by the fire, elbows on knees, face in her hands. Suddenly, a noise came from behind the bushes, startling her. She grabbed her bow, staring at the thicket.
After a while, it grew quiet again.
She dared not relax, glancing at the sleeping pair, growing more serious.
Rustle. Goosebumps rose, this time she was sure she heard it.
She hesitated, then drew a burning stick and crept toward the bushes. Nearing, she stopped, poking with her bow.
Rustle.
The bushes shook, but nothing came out.
"Ha?
Why nothing?" she muttered.
Nantan Nok sat up, half awake, asking softly, "Waimong, what are you doing?" Lu Waimong turned quickly, embarrassed. "Ah, sorry, did I wake you? Then I will go with you, I also want to," she said gently, waving the torch. "All right." Nantan Nok stood, glanced at So Fong, thinking, leaving him alone here, is it safe? "Do not worry, we will not go far."
Lu Waimong pulled her into the forest.
After they left, So Fong by the fire frowned. "Step, step, step. Here, you go first, I will watch."
Lu Waimong stopped, looking at the camp lights beyond.
"All right."
Nantan Nok replied softly, then crouched down. Lu Waimong heard running water, still staring forward.
Rustle. "Waimong, I am done."
After a moment, Nantan Nok spoke. "Now me, take the torch." She handed it over, cheeks pink. Nantan Nok turned quickly, eyes scanning.
After a while, Lu Waimong stood, patted her shoulder, teasing, "Feel better? Let's go back." "All right."
Nantan Nok nodded, leading with the torch.
Rustle. Lu Waimong stopped, asking, "Tan Nok, did you hear anything strange? Strange sound?" "No."
Nantan Nok shook her head.
"Waimong, you too, fall down." So Fong's voice rang out. "What?"
Nantan Nok froze, confused.
"Quick, lie down."
Lu Waimong pushed her down instinctively. Whoosh! Roar! A beast's scream tore out, pale fear spread over them.
"Do not move." So Fong's voice came again.
They froze, unable to rise. Whoosh!
Another arrow whistled. Roar! The beast's cry cut off. Step, step, step. "It is fine."
Nantan Nok raised her head, seeing So Fong's face lit by fire.
"Good, get up, it is safe."
He slung his bow and reached his hand to them.
Chapter 735, As Long as You Are Happy. "You scared me to death. What was that just now?"
Lu Waimong stood up, patting the dust off her body.
"Nothing, just a leopard."
So Fong replied casually, raising the torch to light up the surroundings behind the two girls. In the weeds lay a dead leopard, its body not too large, only a little over 1 meter long. So Fong had shot 2 arrows, one piercing its throat, the other through its eye, leaving half the arrow tail outside.
Ah ah.
Nantan Nok's beautiful face turned pale as she looked at the dead leopard, fear filling her heart. She was also shocked at So Fong's archery and eyesight. In the dark forest at such a distance, he still shot accurately. It could never be mere luck.
Hey, can you not say it so lightly?
Lu Waimong clutched her chest, glaring angrily at him. That was a leopard. Just now she and Nantan Nok nearly lost their lives.
Before sleeping I told you not to go too far. So Fong pinched her cheek and scolded, yet when I woke up you both were gone. But we needed the toilet, we couldn't hold it in. Lu Waimong looked wronged and muttered, let go, it hurts. Fine. She rubbed her red cheek and said sadly, next time I will call you to go with me. All right, as you wish.
She pouted and nodded firmly. So Fong pressed his lips, a bit scared inside. If not for his instinct waking him, the two might be dead or seriously injured.
Remember, do not wander into the forest at midnight,
he said seriously to Nantan Nok.
All right.
Her face was still pale. She felt death so close for the first time.
Relax, it is fine now.
He patted her shoulder. She trembled, then slowly calmed down.
He crouched by the leopard, pulled out the arrows, the tips still with flesh, wiped them clean with grass and put them back. Nantan Nok quickly followed, glancing back often, fearing beasts. Bang!
They returned safely to the clearing. So Fong tossed the leopard aside and said, go back to sleep, I will stand guard.
Now I am not sleepy, wide awake.
Lu Waimong pouted and sat down. Without the leopard she would have slept. Nantan Nok pursed her lips and softly said, me too, I cannot sleep.
Then help me handle this leopard.
So Fong drew his hatchet and deftly cut it open, peeling the skin.
Soon a complete pelt was off. He threw it to her, stretch it with sticks, tomorrow we finish. Got it.
She made a tripod with sticks and ropes, stretched the pelt to dry. So Fong butchered the leopard, tossing the inedible organs into the fire. Soon a smell rose.
There is still quite a lot of meat.
She hung meat over the fire.
The strong blood smell, will it attract beasts?
Nantan Nok looked at her bloody hands nervously.
All the better. He answered calmly. You are not afraid? She asked in surprise. If it was lone beasts like leopard or tiger she believed he could handle, but what if it was a pack of wolves? Before I might fear, now, guess? He smiled.
She froze. Of course now he did not fear.
Lu Waimong laughed remembering, when we first met So Fong, that night the bear came, we screamed so loud. That was long ago.
He shook his head smiling.
Not really long, only about half a year. She calculated. Finish this first. She answered, meat already hung. After half an hour, the blood smell drifted into the deep forest. Aha! She yawned, sleepiness returning. All right, call me if danger comes.
She rubbed her nose, uncomfortable with the smell, but still lay down, trusting him to keep her safe.
I cannot sleep.
Nantan Nok whispered.
Close eyes and rest anyway.
So Fong leaned against a tree, holding the bough, quiver beside him, ready.
I will keep watch with you.
She shook her head and said firmly, she could not sleep in peace.
He smiled, fine, as long as you are happy.
Then the familiar simulated screen appeared, showing day 9 glowing.
Chapter 736, Ginseng. The night wind blew through the forest, the firewood crackled in the flames. Nantan Nok added 2 more logs to the fire, turned the roasting meat, then sat down. Hoo.
Beside her came steady breaths. Lu Waimong was deep asleep, mumbling in her dreams.
Nantan Nok looked at So Fong resting on the branch with eyes half closed. She whispered, So Fong, are you asleep? Not at all, what is it?
So Fong opened his eyes, puzzled. He had only been recalling knowledge in his mind.
Nothing, I thought you had fallen asleep.
Nantan Nok shook her head gently. So Fong spoke softly, if you are tired, you can sleep for a while, dawn is still 2 or 3 hours away.
MHM.
Nantan Nok nodded, yet she felt no drowsiness.
So Fong smiled, closed his eyes and continued to review.
Time passed slowly, light shimmered on the horizon, darkness faded away. Soon morning broke, birdsong began to rise. At last, Nantonnak's tense nerves eased, while Lu Waimong still slept soundly.
Aha!
So Fong stood, stretched, yawned, and walked into the forest.
So Fong, where are you going?
Nantonnak tried to stand, but her legs were numb from sitting too long, she could hardly rise. I will dig some wild greens for breakfast, stay here with Waimong, I will return soon. He waved his hand without turning back, striding into the forest.
All right. Only when he was gone did Nantonnak exhale softly. Step, step, step.
So Fong walked deeper into the woods, eyes scanning around for herbs and greens.
There are plenty of caraway plants here,
he murmured, crouching down to pull them. Besides medicinal use, they could be cooked, boiled, mixed, or pickled.
Enough to eat,
he whispered, picking tender shoots to eat, the older ones for medicine. Moving forward, he found more herbs, many useful for scar ointment.
Seems luck is with me today,
he muttered with a smile. Suddenly he halted, turning his gaze to a slope nearby.
Ah!
He exclaimed, hurrying over to a small green plant. Its stalk stood straight, topped with 5 leaflets.
This is ginseng?
He whispered, brushing leaves aside to reveal dark brown soil. After careful look, he grinned, no doubt it was ginseng. He never believed in the red string tail, the knowledge pack never mentioned it either. And in the wild, no red string could be found, unless he made one himself with blood.
Crack, crack, crack.
So Fong carefully dug around the root, sweeping dirt aside. After nearly 20 minutes, he pulled out the entire root whole, without incident. Wild ginseng was rare and more valuable than cultivated ones, though this one was not 50 years old, still it was precious. It was also called yellow ginseng, earth spirit, or ghost root, said to be one of the oldest plants on earth. Since ancient times, it had been hailed king of herbs, with effects of nourishing energy and strengthening the body.
It was also prized for beauty care, its roots rich in nutrients absorbed by skin. Medicinally, ginseng cleared phlegm, aided digestion, and stimulated vitality. In medicine, it was also used for emergencies, heart disease, diabetes.
I must return, or the girls will worry.
He put the ginseng into the bamboo basket, rose and headed back. After half an hour, the camp appeared ahead. So Fong, you are back.
Lu Waimong waved, she had woken earlier.
Yes, let us cook breakfast.
He smiled, bringing out the greens.
All right, leave it to me. She sliced salted meat, put it into the pot, poured in bamboo water. Nantonnak spotted the ginseng, picked it up, and gasped, So Fong, is this ginseng? You just went out for a while and found ginseng?
She was astonished at such luck.
So Fong shrugged with a smile, good fortune, any problem? No, I only admire you.
She shook her head, smiling bitterly, the drone still hovered above.
So Fong asked jokingly, do you not want to share it with your sister? Well, then we better save it until we return.
Lu Waimong said shyly, almost forgetting about her sister and Van Han.
All right, but first let us finish breakfast.
So Fong urged gently, eat well so we can depart early.
Yes. Lu Waimong answered brightly, rinsing the greens in bamboo water, breaking them into pieces and putting into the pot. Chapter 737, Angelica Root. NK Books.
In the forest, after breakfast, So Fong, Nantonnak, and Lu Waimong started to head back, but they did not take the same path, although the direction was the same, it was another road. When they came, the bamboo basket was heavy with water and salted meat, but on the way back, instead of getting lighter, it became heavier. The bamboo tubes once filled with water were nearly empty, but there was much more leopard meat and herbs. Let it be, it is not much worse than planting herbs. So Fong said softly, yesterday and this morning they had found 2/3 of the needed herbs. He thought for a moment and whispered, with good luck, today we should find the rest.
That is good, going back will be easier.
Lu Waimong sighed in relief, trusting his luck. Nan Tan Nok also quietly exhaled, wondering how her younger sister was after applying the medicine again.
Angelica Root, seems luck is really with us today.
So Fong frowned and stepped quickly toward the bushes. Angelica root, also called fragrant herb, is a tall plant that can grow more than 2 meters.
It is also used as a spice. Angelica root is one of the main herbs for scar treatment.
So Fong explained gently, squatting down, using a hatchet to dig up the root. Elsewhere, Van Han opened her eyes, leaving the bed, feeling unfamiliar with the empty bedding beside her.
I wonder if they can come back quickly today.
She murmured, then got up, put on shoes, walked to the window, and gently pushed it open with a stick.
Van Han looked at the clear sky outside and sighed, the weather is so nice.
She stood for a moment, then carried her washing tools to the stream to wash her face.
Creak, creak.
A sound came from above, a dark shadow swooped down, wings folded, landing in the yard, scaring a fawn into the barn.
Creak, creak.
Bright tilted its head at the girl, letting her check its body.
So you are not hurt, that is good.
Van Han sighed in relief. After checking, she saw only dried blood on its claws, likely from last night's monkey.
Creak, creak. Bright called twice. Wait, I will get you breakfast. Van Han smiled, stroked its head, and went upstairs.
Soon she came down with the sack from last night, untied it, placed it before Bright, and gently said, "Eat."
Creak, creak. Bright buried its head and ate greedily.
Van Han crouched and softly said, "No one will take it, eat slowly."
Creak, creak.
Bright called again, and the girl smiled, even without understanding its cry. Being answered made her happy.
Eat slowly, I will prepare breakfast. Van Han stood and went upstairs with light steps. In the wooden house, Luai Thursday stretched lazily and said, "Van Han, good morning." "Sister Thursday, good morning." Van Han replied with a smile. Luai Thursday took her washing tools and said, "I will wash first, later I will help you with breakfast." More than half an hour later, the house was full of food fragrance.
Nan Nu Nok got up, covered her left cheek, and greeted, "Good morning, everyone."
"Come here, let me see your face." Van Han put the iron pot on the wooden table, then turned and waved.
The girl unwrapped the cloth on her cheek, removing the dried herbs. Van Han observed and murmured, "We must wash your face clean to see the change."
"Hot water is ready, wash first."
Luai Thursday said gently.
"All right." Nan Nu Nok nodded, took a basin, and went to wash.
5 or 6 minutes later, she returned, the herbal paste washed off, revealing a faint red scar.
"Ah, it is much lighter than yesterday," Van Han said happily, touching her cheek. "Yes, much lighter." Luai Thursday smiled warmly. Nan Nu Nok's eyes reddened. She said sincerely, "So good, it really works."
"Of course it works, but these herbs of So Fong only lighten scars, they cannot erase them completely."
Van Han sighed regretfully.
Nan Nu Nok hugged her, sweetly saying, "Van Han, this is already very good."
"Yes, after winning the contest, with more money we can go to the hospital, then it will be cured." Van Han nodded firmly.
Luai Thursday stroked both their
heads and said softly, "All right, sit down and eat, it is getting cold." "Okay." Both answered and sat to eat breakfast. "Van Han, what will you do today?" Nan Nu Nok asked while chewing meat stew.
"We will weave cloth, and make more straw shoes, your clothes still lack a spare set."
Van Han thought then replied. Nan Nu Nok bit her lip and cautiously asked, "Then today, will there be ice to eat?" "Yes, I will make it soon." Van Han laughed. He, Van Han is the best." Nan Nu Nok smiled brightly. After breakfast, Luai Thursday went to wash dishes, while the girls made ice with saltpeter. Then the three began weaving cloth. The loom was new, made by So Fong when free. There were two. "When will So Fong return?" Nan Nu Nok asked while weaving. "When you weave 1 meter of cloth, they should be back." Luai Thursday answered gently.
Nan Nunok looked at the cloth less than 5 centimeters long and said with a wry smile, 1 meter, it will be night by then.
Chapter 738, Do you want me or not? Elder sisters have not returned yet.
Nan Nunok leaned on the windowsill, raising her eyes toward the gate.
They will soon.
Van Han set the finished cloth on the wooden rack, then gently turned to the window and said, they usually come back around this time.
Good.
Nan Nunok pursed her lips, resting her chin on her hands, full of anticipation.
Sister, we are back. A moment later, the distant shout of Lu Waimong rang out. Where are you? Why can't I see anyone?
Nan Nunok was startled, half of her body leaning out, scanning but not spotting a familiar figure.
Van Han glanced around suspiciously. I do not see either. Open quickly, we are at the back gate.
Lu Waimong's call came again, louder this time.
At the back gate.
Van Han hurried downstairs, crossed the stream, and quickly lowered the wooden bar.
The door creaked open, and the figures of So Fong, Nantan Nok and Lu Waimong entered their sight. NK Books. I am fine, all is good. So Fong carried the deer antler bow, then spread his arms and smiled. Not going to give me a hug? Of course I want to.
Van Han blushed and threw herself into his arms.
So Fong held the girl tight, stroking her head and gently asked, Do you want me? Yes.
Van Han blushed and shyly replied, so soft that without So Fong's sharp hearing it might be missed.
Sister, are you all right?
Nan Nunok rushed up, hugging her sister. Nantan Nok gently patted her back and softly said, I am fine, you worried too much.
Really? Let me check. Nan Nunok released her hands, ready to examine her.
Nunok, do not cause trouble. Nantan Nok's face reddened, quickly stopping her sister, as everyone and the drone camera were there.
Nan Nunok halted, laughing, then let us go to the bath.
Nantan Nok tapped her forehead and laughed, no need, I am fine.
All right.
Nan Nunok observed her carefully and finally believed.
Sister, where is my sister?
Lu Waimong looked around.
Ah, Thursday's sister is relieving herself. Nan Nunok whispered. Relieving? Lu Waimong froze, then realized, and rushed upstairs shouting, Sister, are you defecating? Why not come greet me? So Fong, you were away 2 days, we cleared all weeds in the garden.
Van Han let go of him, smiling expectantly.
Excellent. So Fong fondly pinched her cheek and asked, Anything happened while I was gone?
Nothing big, just last night the monkey suddenly went mad and came.
Van Han held his hand, retelling the event. A monkey went mad? So Fong frowned, why suddenly here? Yes, not sure why, luckily we drove it away.
Van Han sighed with relief, smiling gently.
Ha, never mind, it is gone. You must be hungry, right? Van Han smiled, I will prepare dinner, you bathe first. All right.
So Fong nodded, watching her happily run upstairs. Inside the house, Lu Waimong sat hugging her knees on the chair, wronged, looking at her sister.
Next time you shout like that, I will sew your mouth shut. Lu Wai Thursday glared angrily.
That shout almost made her fall. She turned and glared at her again. Sister, men dislike fierce women, you will never marry.
Lu Waimong muttered. What did you say? Lu Wai Thursday narrowed her eyes, voice cold, do you want trouble?
Lu Waimong shook her head quickly, pretending to zip her lips. The Nan sisters chuckled.
Let sisters see your face.
Nantan Nok brushed aside her hair, revealing a burn on her left cheek.
Nan Nunok grew nervous, biting her lip. For no reason, she sighed in relief, though unclear why. Nunok, can you wash the wild greens?
Van Han, busy in the kitchen, turned and then awkwardly said, Let Mong's sister help.
I will do it. Nan Nunok blushed, freed herself and gladly took the greens downstairs. Nantan Nok smiled, rolled up her sleeves, and softly asked, Can I help? No need, you just returned, please rest. Van Han replied warmly.
She waved her hand, then sit and snack first. Nan Ton Nok paused, then smiled bitterly and sat back, unable to help.
Van Han enjoys cooking, let her be. Lu Waimong leaned on the table and said innocently. Yes.
Nan Ton Nok nodded, seeing her genuine smile.
Van Han, where should I put this? Nan Nu Nok returned with washed greens. Place in that ceramic tray, I will handle later. Van Han pointed. All right. Nan Nu Nok replied, then tidied the bamboo basket, placing out bamboo tubes, pots, bowls. Ah, why so much salted meat? She exclaimed, lifting another basket. Chapter 739, Is the sack beating again? Say it. Lu Wai Thursday raised her brows and whispered. Ahem, well, last night I kept watch. Lu Waimong cleared her throat, glossing over the details and simply recounted. Sister, did you meet the leopard last night?
Nan Nu Nok grabbed her sister's hand, turning it over to check. We did, but before we even saw it clearly So Fong shot it with 2 arrows, so we were unharmed.
Nan Nu Nok replied bitterly. Phew, scared me to death. Nan Nu Nok exhaled, shivering, and said, luckily So Fong showed up, otherwise.
Her eyes turned red as she spoke. Her sister was her only family now.
It is fine.
Nan Ton Nok sighed, pulling her sister into her arms again.
Compared to that, my sister is much calmer. Lu Waimong frowned, glancing at her sister with teasing words, used to it already? Yes. Lu Wai Thursday's eye twitched, she suspected her sister was cursed, why always encountering danger? Such a big heart. Lu Waimong pouted and muttered. Lu Wai Thursday glanced at her sister and sighed, now I dare not let you go out, walking by the river, shoes will surely get wet. Lu Waimong sulked, asking seriously, sister, am I to take it that you are cursing me to die young? Lu Wai Thursday fell silent, her words indeed sounded like that. I have So Fong here, not afraid. Lu Waimong pouted coquettishly. Lu Wai Thursday froze, doubtful, what did you say? Ahem, as long as So Fong is here, I am not afraid. Lu Waimong hurriedly explained, cursing her loose tongue. Lu Wai Thursday pursed her lips, helpless with her sister. Could it be you want me stuck in camp for months without stepping out? Lu Waimong spoke innocently. Do not worry, I decided tomorrow I will teach you combat skills. So Fong pushed the wooden door open, wiping his hair with a towel, looking solemnly at the girls. Since Taebaidin once taught him half a move, So Fong had this thought, now he determined to strictly supervise. Combat skills? Both Nan sisters and Lu sisters froze, as though 3 big question marks hovered above them. NK books. Yes, learn it not only to defend yourselves, but even in the city you can teach those hateful people a lesson. So Fong smiled, hanging the towel on the wooden rack. Sounds tempting, but in the city if we hit people, will we not be thrown in jail for days? Lu Waimong glared, muttering, and I recall you also have to pay compensation. Inside the room, the audience instantly showered with comments. Ha ha, wicked So Fong online teaching little girls bad. Little girls? Do you not misunderstand that definition? I want to learn too, I already have the sack, just lack the skill. Shocking, this man dares to teach little girls such things, lacking character or morals? So Fong, you are spreading bad influence. Lu Wai Thursday pursed her lips and reminded. Ahem, ha ha ha. So Fong coughed, facing the lens and laughed, everyone do not learn, such behavior is not good. He scratched his head, grinning, so, do you want to learn? If learning but cannot hit people, I will not. Lu Waimong shook her head. Who said you cannot hit, is the sack not allowed? So Fong glanced at the camera, lowering his voice, like those hateful young masters at your school. That is true, then I will learn. Lu Waimong quickly grew excited. So Fong smirked, turning to the Nan sisters and Lu Wai Thursday, you want to learn? I want to learn. Nan Nu Nok eagerly raised her hand, her face full of hope. Lu Waimong tugged her sister's hand, asking, "Sister, will you not learn?"
She reminded, "Once learned, you can teach those scums a lesson. Best find that man and beat him up."
Lu Wai Thursday's heart stirred, but she said aloud, "I fear the first one I will hit is you. Even without learning, do you not hit me enough already?" Lu Wai Mong pouted angrily.
Lu Wai Thursday sighed, "I fear my stamina cannot keep up with you." "That is not a problem, I will tailor training to each body, raising stamina while learning combat." So Fong spoke gently.
"Then I can learn." Lu Wai Thursday's eyes lit. "So Fong, when did you learn combat?" Van Han carried an iron pot to the table, frowning curiously. "How do I not know?" "Ahem, I said Uncle Vong secretly taught me, will you believe?"
So Fong coughed lightly, speaking nonsense seriously.
"Uncle Vong secretly taught you?" Van Han frowned again. "Does Uncle Vong know combat?" "No."
So Fong muttered, sighing, his mind racing. Van Han looked deep at him, then sincerely said, "Then I want to learn too."
"Ah." So Fong froze. She did not pursue it? "What, is it not allowed?" Van Han pressed.
So Fong hurriedly replied, "Of course allowed."
"Then it is decided," Van Han said innocently. "Good." So Fong quietly exhaled, admiring her understanding. Had she pressed on, only Uncle Vong could be blamed. "Sit down, let us eat dinner," Van Han called with a smile. "I will get bowls and chopsticks." Nan Nu Nok stood up quickly, walking to the rack.
Lu Wai Mong remembered, regretting, "Alright, the ginseng, forgot to bring it for the soup."
Chapter 740, Manage Your Man, So Fong. Yes, So Fong dug it up. Lu Wai Mong picked up some food with her chopsticks, stuffed it in her mouth and muttered. "Going out to dig wild greens and actually finding ginseng, this luck is unmatched." "Exactly."
Nan Tan Nok nodded in agreement, she had thought the same.
"Where is it?" "Let me see."
Van Han stood up excitedly, she had never seen real ginseng in her life.
"Here."
Nan Nu Nok turned around and pulled the ginseng from the bamboo basket. She had seen it while tidying up, thought it was just a herb, not expecting it to be ginseng.
Van Han glanced at it and whispered, "So this is ginseng, it looks no different from ordinary grass." "It does not look like a person," Lu Wai Thursday whispered.
"Whether it looks human or not does not affect the medicinal effect, only human-shaped ones fetch higher price. What really matters is the age, the older it is the stronger the effect, and naturally more precious." So Fong explains simply.
"Got it." The women nodded thoughtfully. "So those who buy human-shaped ginseng are all fools?" Van Han clapped and concluded. I did not say that."
So Fong shook his head with a grin. "These words may offend some interests." Ha Min smiled bitterly. "I think it is not wrong, the effect is the same, yet people willingly pay more for human-shaped ginseng." No Tin Noyet supported. "That may be so, but for most people now, face matters more.
Human-shaped ginseng makes a better gift."
Ha Min explained vaguely.
Still clinging to vanity. No Tin Noyet pouted. Tai Bai Din pursed her lips, remembering her house had piles of ginseng, most human-shaped. With So Fong's popularity, the market price of ginseng may shake. Vong Lam murmured.
Ha Min sighed, "True enough.
You are right."
So Fong forced a smile, glancing at the camera, hoping he would not be ambushed when he returned to the city. They all sat around and ate dinner.
"By the way, have you gathered enough herbs?" Van Han asked.
"Of course." So Fong smiled, today luck was overwhelming, on the way back he found all the herbs, though it cost much effort, the result was good.
Phew.
Nan Nu Nok secretly breathed out, her eyes full of gratitude.
After half an hour, everyone had finished dinner amid laughter. During that time Lu Wai Mong briefly told her story. It was dangerous but ended safe. Lu I Thursday and the Nan sisters went downstairs to wash dishes, while So Fong took herbal scar ointment into the bathroom. So mysterious.
Van Han muttered, then went to sort salted meat, needing to rub more salt, otherwise it would spoil.
10 minutes later, the dishwashing trio returned laughing. All right. Nan Nu Nok said crisply, placing dishes on a chair.
You can only endure once, wait for So Fong to finish the ointment, then lie on the bed.
Nan Tan Nok said softly. Got it. Nan Nu Nok nodded obediently, enduring as much as she could.
So much herb, enough for 3 or 4 times.
So Fong muttered. This is enough for 3 days. He handed the ointment to Nan Nu Nok, asking gently. Here, need me to apply it? I will do it.
Nan Tan Nok took it instead, thankful.
Thank you. No need. So Fong shrugged, sitting back as she applied the paste, adding his advice. All right. Lu I Thursday sat down, eyeing the tiles before her. The Nan sisters went to the bed, the elder pulling the younger down. Close your eyes. Nan Tan Nok coaxed. All right.
Nan Nu Nok obeyed, closing her eyes.
It may itch, bear it.
Nan Tan Nok reminded, carefully applying.
Nan Nu Nok nodded calmly. I am used to it. Poor you. Nan Tan Nok sighed, feeling sorry. It is not suffering, life is good now, I have sister with me, and also friends like Van Han, So Fong, Mong's sister, Thursday's sister, I am happy.
Nan Nu Nok smiled, dimples making her more lovable.
Nan Tan Nok froze, then smiled, nodding.
To her, this past month was happier than 2 years before.
She put the paste back in the jar, gently. Done, sleep now. MHM.
Nan Nu Nok nodded, lying straight to keep the
ointment on.
Nan Tan Nok tucked her in and left.
Are you still playing? So Fong asked, preparing to get up. You play, I must learn more tricks, otherwise I keep losing.
Nan Tan Nok said sincerely, pulling a chair behind him, eager to learn.
All right. So Fong laughed, another one addicted to mahjong. So Fong, please go easy.
Lu Waimong begged, almost losing. So Fong frowned, teasing.
What is the benefit? Van Han, control your man So Fong, he is teasing me.
Lu Waimong accused.
He, I cannot control him.
Van Han blushed, stuck her tongue out playfully.
He is not mine yet. So Fong twitched at the eye.